Yo, what's going on YouTube, GZTV, and wow, what an episode I just watched last night. Holy crap. We have the 5th episode of Season 3 of Dave. We are already halfway through the season, and obviously once they drop 10 episodes, who knows, they might do extra episodes this season. But once the season's done, we're going to have to wait for more soon. I think he is doing Season 4. Hopefully he drops an album with one of these seasons, because I want to hear some of his new music. I want to see what Lil Dicky's got working on. I mean, I know he's not a great artist, but like, I think it'd be really interesting to see what he's got in store for his fans. But as much as, let's just talk about the episode. So as much of this season of Dave is structured around his protagonist's search for love, I often find myself interested in Dave's love life I found myself less interested in Dave's love life than the other stuff. His family, his friends, his fans. Accordingly, The Storm is one of the best episodes of Season 3 so far. I wouldn't say it's the best yet, but it was awesome. I liked it. It was fun. It's basically the platonic ideal of a Dave episode. Funny, creepy, and sneakily thoughtful, telling a story specific to Dave while utilizing the whole ensemble. It begins at a Lil Dicky show in Mississippi where a young woman named Meg, played by Melanie Ehrlich, I think, is first in line. Meg is a classic stan, like a less creepy but just as passionate version of the fan from Texas who made a Lil Dicky head out of concrete. That's funny. So when her idol picks her to join him on stage, it's a dream come true, and not even being called a fat whore by his most toxic male fans can faze her. It's a Lil Dicky show, right? She says, brushing off Dave's sincere apology backstage. I get it. It's a telling remark, and it made me Dave kind of starts to reflect. Like, is this how his shows really should be? Like, people shouldn't be fat shaming anybody, but it is what it is. I guess his fans are who they are. Dave is eager to make it up to Meg, so he invites her to their Memphis show, even allowing her to join them on the tour bus since she doesn't have a car. But not long after they arrive to pick her up at a remote ranch house, a Category 3 hurricane moves in and roads are closed, standing Dave and his posse, minus Allie, with Meg's family for the rest of the episode, which the second this happens, I'm like, oh my goodness, this is going to be a good episode. It's going to get good here real soon. Oh my god, I love it. This is another opportunity for Dave to comment on and play with stereotypes about the South, and sure, it's not totally free of cliche. As soon as you hear that Meg's Wi-Fi password is I live for him, you can start to see where this is going. Meg belongs to a very conservative Christian family, which will inevitably clash with Dave's tour family of godless heathens. People that could give a fuck less about religion. They fuck, they smoke, they do drugs, they party, and they go against the grain, I guess you could say. There's tension in the air here from the beginning, with the parents suspicious of Dave's intentions and skeptical of the larger group, including Vodka, played by Natasha Alum, the latest in Gata's seemingly endless series of sexual partners. He gets with a different girl pretty much every tour date, which Gata I guess Gata just yearns to live that pure rapper lifestyle, but we get a confessional out of him towards the end, and it's amazing. I really like. There's just some raw emotion in this show for sure. It's funny. Vodka has like a tattoo on her back of Gata's name, and it's funny. To us, it all feels like the setup for a Get Out situation. It's starting to feel like that for them soon. The storm feigns in the horror direction, mostly with some anxiety-inducing quick cutting and the score all pulsing bass and eerie strings. I'm not really sure if this show's really took this direction on before. I really don't think it has. Every family member is creepy in their own way. Meg's father is cold, her mother stern, and her Bible-quoting brother Aaron, played by Alexander Poncio, looks like he could break Dave in half even without that chainsaw. Yeah, it's an average Southern family, pretty much. Pretty stereotypical for being in the Mississippi area. A creepy little girl and a creepy grandma complete the picture, with the latter providing the episode's most outrageous moment when she exposes herself and gets pleasured by the family dog. By comparison, her repeatedly mistaking Mike for Richard is small potatoes. I mean, my goodness, I saw this. I was like, no way the show just did that. That was insane. Oh my god, like, you guys have got to just see it to believe it. It's ridiculous. But what's most upsetting to Dave isn't the numerous red flags piling up. He can't stop thinking about what Meg told him before her parents came home. What she loves most in the world is dancing, but her parents think it's unchristian. Yeah, man, see, I can't be religious. Like, I respect religious people, but no, you can't do what you want to do when you're a Christian, I guess. They made her take down the TikTok account where she'd upload videos of herself dancing in her bedroom. To Dave, there's perhaps no greater injustice than stifling someone's creativity, so he makes it his mission to change Meg's parents' minds. Obviously, as a rapper, he doesn't want people to be limited. He doesn't want people's creativity to be limited. It's clear early on how Dave will get in his own way, by pushing Meg's parents too far and letting her down. But unlike in some Dave episodes, especially Harrison App from the season, Dave's misguided persistence is coming from the right place this time. It's cringy to watch him directly confront Meg's parents at the dinner table, arguing that there's nothing evil about sexuality and drawing attention to your body through dance. He's right, but it isn't a productive argument because everyone is set in their beliefs. Dancing creates lust and leads to temptation, and the addictive cycle of pleasure makes you lose your soul, and that's just that. Yeah, I feel like these people have a lot of fun in their lives, don't they? Where Dave really fucks up is in speaking for Meg, claiming she doesn't even believe in Christianity and the standards they live by. She's right to tell him off. Like, I don't even know why he said stuff like that. Like, yeah. With Dave set straight, the episode pivots to deal with the subplot that has been developing primarily in the background of this episode and this season overall, and that's Gaeta's sex addiction. It comes to the forefront after Vodka storms out, and he calls up someone else to keep him company. But as soon as Vodka sees Graciela, she attacks, leading to a scuffle that ends in Mike and Dave yelling at Gaeta. And like when they do, it's like really hurtful. Like, you feel bad for Gaeta in the moment. It's like, holy shit, you guys really said these things. Maybe it'll lose its power eventually, but Gaeta getting real about his emotions is always reliably moving, especially knowing much of his backstory parallels the real-life man. This instance is surprising in the moment that makes sense when you think back to the frequency of Gaeta's sexual references recently. Crying as he admits how much he can't take being alone for even a night, Gaeta mentions that his last steady girlfriend left him and had an abortion, which no one had ever known before. More crucially, his biological mom chose drugs over him, something that affects him to this day. Why should I love a woman, he asked. My mom didn't love me my whole life, and this is where these trust issues come in. Throughout all this time, Meg's mother, played by Dendry Taylor, is there as a surprising source of comfort, assuring Gaeta that God will never abandon him and praying while she holds his hand. And I think it's really beautiful how... I really do think it's beautiful how this complete strangers like comforting Gaeta and using like the power of God. Like I like Christianity in that regard, but yeah, it's a sign of what should have been apparent today from the beginning. People are complicated; they can surprise you. Does this family hold some mortifying views, and are Meg's parents wrong to take away what she loves? Of course, but are they capable of kindness and empathy sometimes? And is there an undeniable comfort in religion? Also, yes. Besides, Meg may be under her parents' thumb, but you never get the sense that she's truly unhappy with this life she has. She loves her family and has faith to keep her steady, even during experiences most people would struggle to handle. You know? Megan acknowledges this the next morning when she tells Dave she doesn't need him to save her. She's already saved. I really like the give and take that happens here. Meg teaches Dave a valuable lesson, but Dave's perspective means a lot to her too, and despite his numerous faux pas, he does have a real advice to offer. Only when I started doing exactly what I love to do in life did I feel any semblance of spirit, he says. Like, you have to do what you want to do. Obviously not like anything illegal or whatever, but like, if you're passionate about something, go fucking do it. That's how you're gonna find happiness, right? And that's what he's trying to say. His circumstances differed from Meg's, but people told him not to pursue rapping, and he wouldn't be there if he didn't ignore them. Because her parents are still watching, Meg can only say goodbye to Dave with a mind hug, one of the most genuinely adorable TV moments in this entire series. That was funny. And then, lest we fear the scene was getting gooey, we get that perfect ending joke. Aaron approaches Dave to let him know that he listened to his music and he actually loves it because it's just so fucking cool to hear someone who's proud to be white. Oh my god, that is so funny, dude. Every artist has good fans and bad fans, and with a persona like Lil Dicky, there's an even bigger risk of being misunderstood because he's not even like a serious rapper, he's satirical. Aaron is a stand-in for the worst and most toxic of Lil Dicky's audience, both in the series and in real life. The same type of person who booed Meg in the opening scene. Except the reveal isn't the true ending. This is an episode about both Dave's best fans and worst fans, but the focus is on Meg, the first and last character we see on screen. As the tour bus pulls away, director Shannon Murphy pans over to end on a shot of Meg dancing again in her bedroom for TikTok, bursting with joy in every twist and turn of her body. This is a show called Dave, and the storm is as much about the artist as it is about the fan. But in these final moments, it's she who gets the spotlight. Maybe one day she'll be a superstar, or maybe not, but that's not the point. In this moment, she's a young woman alone in Mississippi, staring into a camera and letting everything else go, and that's enough. So yeah, really good way to end this episode. This could be my favorite episode of this season. I don't know. I think it was great. And I think once this season is over, I'm going to go back and rewatch the whole thing, like, together. Because I might even watch it with, like, my dad or something. Because it's awesome. It's funny. It's enjoyable. The show has a mix of so many good things. And I think it's one of the best, like, comedy movie or TV shows I've ever seen. I think it's great. Like, it actually has substance to it. And it goes through the life of a rapper. But I'm out.